Yo, what's happening, bruz? I want to make a video on my exhaust, to be honest. I know I've done like loads of separate ones, like the one where I was riding around with no end can. I think I did another video, but I never uploaded it. I think this one's just going to be a better version of it, more detail. You know, is it good, is it bad? And I want to kind of sum this up for people so that they can make their own up ideas if it's good or if it's bad, whether they should buy it if they've got this bike or if they've got a normal Divi or just the standard XJ6N. And my only answer to you would be, get this exhaust, but prepare for errors and problems with it. It's a great bloody exhaust. It's so easy to fit, you know. Just a standard cut, weld, and then connect everything up. But the parts that Dominator supply are, how could I say it nicely? Pants. They're not the best. They're that's illegal, isn't it? That's the left turn. Muppet. Yeah, they're pants. This is like the nicest way I can say it. The exhaust itself is, I'd say, good quality for the money. The manifold is good quality, and the welding linkage is also good quality, but the bracket that they provide you to go underneath the peg, no, not so good. Same with the bolts, the actual bracket that goes around the exhaust, the spacer. It's not really been thought about an awful lot, and they're made out of aluminium basically, and what they've done in order to do it is they've put a bend in aluminium, and if you know aluminium very well like I do, well, I say like I do, I don't really know an awful lot about it, but it's just common sense. When you bend a piece of aluminium, it weakens it by quite a lot, and it could potentially crack when you're bending it. And I'm pretty like 90% sure that when they bent it, oh shit, there's no left turn here, I missed it. Well, I'm pretty sure that when they bent it, they that was the left turn that I wanted. Bugger. When they bent it, they actually cracked it. So it's, you know, it's oh, what's the bloody word for it? Its strength, that's the word. That's what I was trying to find. How can you not remember that? Its strength was so weak. Basically what happened was when I was riding around town, this is the first day of me actually using it. I got it done on the day before, and I took it home because I was using my friend's bike, because obviously I had no bike because I had to leave it with my other friend to get him to weld the exhaust on for me. And when I picked it up, it was brilliant. I had the baffle in, got rid of that soon. And I took it home and I took a little detour, gave it a few revs, you know, as you do. You got brand new exhaust on your bike, you like to want to hear what it sounds like. And I got all that on it and everything, and I took it home, and then the next day I went to work, no problems, and I finished work and I was going through town, and I had my other friend on the back, so obviously the bike's going to be fairly low as it is anyway, you know, with somebody on the back of it, as you do when you've got people on, your suspension, you know, it lowers. And I went over a speed bump and it clonked the speed bump, but it didn't do it very hard, but it nudged it to the point where the exhaust went like that and wobbled. Obviously I thought nothing of it, and so I carried on, and I went to my granddad's because I wanted to take the baffle out, because for some reason I didn't think I had the right size Allen kit at home, but I did. And I went to take the baffle out and I was thinking, why the hell is this exhaust so goddamn loose? So, you know, I had a little look around it and I shook it, and then my granddad goes, is that meant to be like that? And as we think, is what meant to be like what? and he showed me the bracket and the part that you screw on to the underseat, not the underseat, the rear peg, and then the part that you screw on to the exhaust had actually snapped on the bend. So it was like terribly weak. Well, I don't even know where the hell I'm going. It was actually terribly weak, and it just snapped under the pressure of a tiny little nudge. And I'm trying to find somewhere to show you what I had to do, but there's so many bloody people about and they're parking in these. I don't know if it's like Shaggers Creek or something, but there's like 2 cars that I've seen and they're parked in Shaggers Creek, and half of them are like, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to have to go back this way, and I'm going to have to try and find somewhere, because I want to show you what I had to do. So in order to get this, you know, for me to be able to use the exhaust, because obviously it was a weld and I couldn't have just taken it off, so luckily the weld was quite strong, so I had to wait a few days, well, about a week, because obviously I work shifts, so I had no time to actually do it in my own time, so I had to wait until a Friday because I finished at 2 o'clock. I had to order some steel in. I couldn't get any stainless steel because it was sold out. Bloody dilemma. So I had to go and get some steel. Then I went round to my friend who welded the exhaust on originally, and what we had to do was make a new bracket out of the steel instead of aluminium. I'm in the wrong lane. Great. It didn't work. Well, it did. We made it, and everything was pucker. I've still got it on now. And then I went down to Southend the following few months later, because obviously it was only the bracket, the bolts and everything, and the space was all perfectly fine. So I did all that, and everything was all fine. Went down to Southend, and I got back. Why am I indicating? I got back home. I never realised for a few days, and was like, what the hell was with my exhaust? I noticed it when I was cleaning it, and I thought to myself, wow, notice anything missing? And the whole thing, the bracket around the exhaust, the bolts, the lot, everything came off. The only thing that managed to stay was the custom bracket that we made. So, you know, as you do, you think, oh yeah, that's cool, that's wicked, everything's all sorted, you know, I can just get some new bolts. No. I contacted Dominator in the end, because technically I lost all of the bracket system that they gave me. Instead of being reasonable, they wanted me to pay a further 50 quid just for a bracket. This is just for the actual clamp. It's the whole bracket system basically. They couldn't just send me one piece out, and they weren't very reasonable with it, and it didn't go very good. So I had to, you know, rethink about it and get more parts in and do some more thinking, and eventually I got to the point where we still had this bolt here, we still had this and that nut or whatever you want to call it. So we had that, and we still had this, which was the custom one, which used to be the opposite way around. So this piece was there. We mimicked the old one because I still had the old one, but it was just broke. All the ink's leaking off my gloves because it's raining. So what I had to do was get another bolt, go through, get a rubber spacer, just steel, just a steel spacer, and then a pilot rivet, I think they're called, a pilot nut, I think that's what they're called. You know what they put on planes and that, so that it don't come off with vibration. And I had to get a new one of these. It was so hard to get one for this exhaust, to the point where I had to get one custom made as well by a bloke on eBay. Luckily, he only charged me 3 quid. So I got that done, and then we had to remake this bracket down here, which was done. I've recently just painted again because it went all corroded where it was originally painted, and then we rebent it because it was only steel. It just eventually started to corrode. So I sanded all the corrosion off the other day, repainted it, and you know, it looks wicked now. The exhaust is on, the bracket's on, the bracket from the bloody foot pegs on. It never used to exactly look like that, but it's had that much modification to it to get it to sit on this bike. It's unreal. This bike is so filthy now because of the rain, and my ass is like probably covered in mud and just shit. But so that's the problem that I had with Dominator, and their response was, it's been sent out to you. You've had it for, well, I sent them the email within the first 2 weeks. All this happened within 2 weeks. Idiot, I'm not even in gear. So I sent all that. Within all the 2 weeks, bearing in mind that they say you have a 12-month warranty or something, there is a form of warranty with it. And they wanted you to repay. They wanted you to repay for the same thing. But obviously, there was no way of me returning it, because when you cut the cat off, there was no re-weld point because it was such a flat surface and you wasn't able to re-weld, which was a pain in the arse. But I'm glad I didn't send it back, because, you know, once everything was sorted and got it all done, basically Dominator sent me a swift middle finger. I emailed them so many times. I had to wait days and days and days because they were in Poland, and they just were no help at all. They were absolutely useless. Their customer support or customer service, whatever you want to call it, was beyond ridiculous. It was absolutely shit. And if I had to buy from them again, honestly, I wouldn't. Dominator have got the worst review from me ever, and there was a few other parts that I originally wanted, and because they gave me such bad customer service, they lost their customer. You know, because I wasn't going to keep this one forever. They had a hexagonal exhaust, which I really wanted, the end can. It was a bit like Lex Moto's one. But to be honest, if I want that can now, I'll just get it from Lex Moto. You know, Dominator were a little bit cheaper, but I suppose you literally get what you pay for. The whole exhaust system, the link pipe, the welding link, the can, the brackets, everything costs 150 quid. So you literally get what you pay for, so you can't complain too much. But when it comes to customer service, just no good. Apart from that, everything was alright, but the delivery, I even had a problem with the delivery. It came a week early, so that was a bonus, but the bracket that I just showed you on the actual exhaust, which holds the can so it doesn't vibrate and all that, it's got the rubber mounting all the way around the exhaust, that was crushed and flat packed. I had to get my friend to flatten it out with a mallet so it could go on, because everything was all bent. So, you know, yes, I know it's come from Poland and now it's come to the UK, so you got to expect some sort of problems, but when you have loads and loads and loads, and then to top it off you have the bad customer support, it's just not good enough. So Dominator, no, never again, my friend. You will never receive a payment from me, unfortunately. You could have had a very good customer there, and you ruined it. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. I just wanted just to have a little bit of a in-depth piece about Dominator. Are they good? Should you buy one for this bike? If you can sort the problems out like I have, and don't have to worry about customer support, then yeah, no problem. And if you do buy it and you do get the problems and you can't do it, feel free to message me and I'll happily send you the dimensions of all the cuts and the bends that I actually did and where I got everything from. Why am I in that line for? And I'll show you 100% how to do it. But apart from that, if you can avoid it and spend the £700 to get the exhaust, please do, because it will save you a hell load of time and it's very easy. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys the insight of Dominator and what their product is really like, just so you all know, so you can know what to expect basically, because nobody ever told me anything, because nobody's, as far as I'm aware, ever put the Dominator on an XJ6, apart from people that have actually made their own manifolds and just bought the can. But yeah guys, so like I say, it was just an insight on what it's like, and I do hope you guys enjoy. I'm trying to get my videos back up and, you know, get back with the daily shenanigans. Oh, fuck's sake, woman, there's a traffic light there. Can you not just fucking... silly old bitch. Fuck's sake. But yeah guys, anyway, so you know, if you did like the video, then please feel free to subscribe for more content if you haven't already heard from me before, and be sure to leave a like on the video so I know that you're there, and comment and all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Oh, that's close. I'll see you in a bit.